Hey, Steve Zelenardi here with RE/MAX Experts, Zelenardi Associates. Just a real quick update on the market. Current inventory right now, we're at 13,337 units, or actually 13,737 units, so up since last week, but our sales have been steady at 820 units. And if we dissect where the sales are actually going, because it's obviously mixed between residential freehold and also condo townhouses, or condos rather, anything with a maintenance fees attached to it. 68% of the 820 sales is residential freehold, and 32% of that is condo. So it's a good thing that we're in the, let's say, residential freehold market where all of our properties are in that department, so we have more of a chance to sell. What we're looking at now, even with our listings on the market, some of them have an uptick in showing, some have none. I think on our lower priced inventory right now, we have to go back and find and get some lower priced or get some price adjustments to get it more competitive for the market. So that's today's plan. And I want to talk about a little bit about OFSI. So OFSI is basically what we have now is a stress test, and this was put in place in 2017. So it's basically you had to qualify for a mortgage not based on, let's say, a variable rate that you were probably getting at the time. It was based on, let's say, a 5-year fix plus 2%, so prime plus 200, or it was a 5-year fix plus 200 basis points. So what that did is obviously gave everyone a safety barrier or safety net. That's what's sort of holding us together right now, is where people, even if the rates were, let's say, a 5-year fix were like at 2%, they were qualifying at 4%, or if it was 3%, now it's 5%. So they had some, at least they were qualifying on a higher amount mortgage. And people try to fight this, and they want to eliminate this. I don't know which industry it was, but I think it was the actual mortgage industry that was challenging OFSI, which is obviously our protection barrier, and they wanted them to loosen up the restrictions and maybe do is it fixed plus 100 or 1%, or is it just at fixed, or maybe just reduce it even further. But the problem with that is that we collect more debt. I was really pro when this came in. I was really happy that they introduced that, because basically it pre-qualifies all the buyers that shouldn't be in the market at the time. So anybody that's buying in at that time basically could afford to hold that property if there was an uptick in the market like we're currently experiencing now. So that was a good way to do it. And this is the reason. If we look here, our household debt, if we go into the world, so our household debt per GDP, we're at number 3 in the world. I mean, we're Canada. It's a very small country. We're about 35 million people. We really don't produce anything. We have small industry here. It's nothing, ginormous. Let's say like United States or like Europe and or China rather. So basically, what we have here is a lot of immigration and housing market. This is what's based our economy in the last, let's say, 10, 12 years since I've been following it as a realtor. It's all I've seen was housing development. So housing development fuels jobs and then it keeps the economy turning. So we're at 106 percent household debt per GDP. But what's more scary is this figure right here. And if you look in the Americas, I don't know how they group this, but it's like even like Central and South America are in this here. But so Canada is 106%, and then America itself, or the United States, is 77.2%. So you see that big difference right there where debt to GDP is. But this is the scary one here. If you look at this, the Canadian household debt reached a staggering I think it's like 2 trillion rather, so 2,106 billion. So I believe it's 2 trillion. That's the number we just saw. This is the scary number here. Household debt in Canada increased to 180% of the gross income per 22. So what that means is every dollar you make, you're spending $1.80. That's the kind of debt we're accumulating right now. And if we bring that into like the grand scale of the world, we're number 4 in the world. And again, like the Netherlands, Norway, and Denmark, I'm actually surprised with these how they've tallied up, because we used to be number 1 in this let's say statistics here. So we've actually dropped down to 4th, but at the same time we don't produce much. And this is a lot of debt we're carrying on as individuals. So it's quite scary, obviously, because we're at that range. Hopefully we can tailor this down in the next like 5 to 10 years. And even with the OFSI laws, like they want to remove those. Like all that's going to do is cause that number to go higher, and we're going to be carrying more debt, and it's just like we're never going to get out of this debt. And they always said, and I read a book back like 21 years ago, Robert Kiyosaki, The Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it was basically that, like you're basically in a rat race, and that's it. You're in a hamster wheels just rotating, and if you're never going to get ahead, those numbers prove to be true. But But anyway, if you guys got any questions regarding real estate, please reach out 647-962-4372. Thanks.